Cappadocia Go Turkey. The land of beautiful horses and fairy chimneys. A moonscape region carved by the nature and men, Cappadocia is most famous for its unique geological features and layers of history. Cappadocia is the name of the region created by the erosion of the soft layers formed by the lava and ashes sprayed by the volcanic mountains of Erciyes, Kazandag and Guladag, and shaped by rain, wind, and ice for millions of years. As the landscape was eroded, basalt stones remained and formed conical structures, with some reaching as high as 45 m, were created over time by erosion of the relatively soft volcanic ash around them. Past cultures have dug into them to create dwellings, castles, and even entire underground cities, used as hiding places by early inhabitants. The local people referred to these unique rock formations as fairy chimneys, a name that has endured throughout the ages. If nature was the first artist to arrange the decor, it was Anatolian humankind who carved the rock and created Cappadocia as an open-air museum full of unparalleled natural and cultural phenomena. Cappadocia, the land of beautiful horses, as one entire piratation of the name Cappadocia suggests, is the key to the myriad potential possibilities for exploring and experiencing this fantastic land, from riding to cycling, from exploration to sumptuous cuisine. No matter the season or time of year, this fantasy land has something to stimulate, captivate, and invigorate the senses. Cappadocia is one of those places, allowing you to leave our planet behind without leaving it. Given a chance, these lands will not quit on you. 10 vibes for Cappadocia. Stay in a cave. Cappadocia is a land of natural wonders, and as such there are some unique experiences every traveler should try. One of the most rewarding experiences is staying at one of Cappadocia's world-famous cave hotels. Some of the region's troglodyte dwellings have been turned into luxurious boutique hotels. These hotels offer a real feel of the region's unique architecture, while providing all the modern amenities. Breakfast with the view of fairy chimneys. Cappadocia offers you a stunning view of fairy chimneys, especially at dawn. With the rising sun, it is a pleasure to view the panorama accompanying with such a delicious breakfast. A traditional Turkish breakfast includes variety of olives, cheese, egg, tomato, cucumber, pepper, Turkish sausage, sukuk, jams, honey, butter, cream. After the rich and nourishing breakfast, it is time to discover rural parts of Cappadocia. Conquering the scenery from up above, hot air balloons. As dawn breaks, you will float in air with great calmness. Rock formations dating back to millions of years, unimaginable landforms unique to this geography lying beneath. Valleys offering majestic sceneries, high altitudes painting a multi-hued topography down below, slopes weaved in velvety texture. The land of fairy chimneys has become the center for hot air ballooning gradually over the past 20 years, and the intoxicating morning cruises have been attracting more and more travelers from all over the world with each passing day. The balloons, which go up to 800 meters high, depart from the trails around Gorim early in the morning. Cappadocian vineyards. It wouldn't be fair if you'd come all this way and return without trying the delicious Cappadocian wines. This region, holding the well-established winemaking tradition for thousands of years, owes its famous vineyards to the tuff formed by the volcanic activities. Anatolian grapes such as Okas Gozu, Kalsik Karasi, Bagaskir, Narins, and Amir grow graciously thanks to the rich tough soil. It gets better. Cappadocia wineries are open for visitation all year long, making your trip possible at any given moment. Walk along the streets, Avanos, Mustafa Paşa, Ürgüp, Gorim. If you are interested in history, faith, arts, architecture, or different local lifestyles, the streets of Cappadocia will surely attract you. The streets of Avanos full of pottery, silk and carpet ateliers, the streets of Mustafa Paşa or Sinasos with interesting architecture, churches and madrasas together, the streets of Ürgüp with historical mansions, museums, fairy chimneys, even Turkish baths, the streets of Gorim lead you to the world-famous Gorim Open-Air Museum and valleys of love, Guvursunluk, Pigeons, Zimi, Pasabag, Guladir, Kilikler and so on. Lunch with local tastes. Cappadocia has a very rich local cuisine. The most famous meals of the region are clay pot kebab and beans. The clay pot kebab is very original. And it is also healthy and delicious with the ingredients of meat and different vegetables. At this kind of cooking, meals are slowly cooked in traditional ovens. Therefore, they have a smoky aroma and more flavor. There are many different tasty meals of Cappadocia: sogan lama with onion, egg, pepper, and tomato, agpakla with white bean, butter, and meat, gendarme with chickpea, wheat and meat, divil with potato and cracked wheat, stuffed apricot and quince with minced meat and different spices. Sweet tooths never disappoint at Nevşehir. They will have a feast with pumpkin dessert, kofter, kind of Turkish delight, contains grape juice of the region, dolaz, flour halva with butter, grape molasses, and so on. Horseback riding. One of the great ways to discover Cappadocia is horseback riding. Being on a horse allows you to closely observe the stunning details around you. There are many daily horseback tours to choose from. There are also multi-day rides around Cappadocia, as well as full moon rides where you can explore this enchanting region at night. You can navigate through valley stretches on footpaths where vehicles cannot enter, around fairy chimneys, and among lush village vineyards by horses. You will get the chance to see the most beautiful valleys of Cappadocia, such as Meskender and Guladir. Hiking/trekking. Cappadocia is also a veritable paradise for nature hikers. Hiking around Cappadocia is a unique experience, offering some of the most surreal scenery in the world. There are several popular trails, including the Valley of Pigeons near Gorim, the Love Valley, the Rose Valley, and the Sword Valley, all of which take a few hours and make you feel like both a time traveler and an adventurer through historic churches, necropolises, beautiful nature, and many more. You can also walk longer trails, such as the 14 km Ilara Valley. Pottery making. Located 18 kilometers from Nevşehir city, Avanos is famous for its tradition of pottery making that has been alive since the times of the Hittites. If you want to give it a try, call in at a workshop and take up your position before the wheel. What happens next is up to the skills of your hands and the vividness of your imagination. Master potters standing nearby will lend you their support and maybe give you a few pointers. When you leave, do not forget to pick up an example or two of the craftsman's work as a memento of your time there. Watch the sunset at Ortahisar Castle. The best ways to end a day may be watching the sundown at a castle with a gorgeous sight. Ortahisar is both a castle and a fairy chimney, thus it is a good combination for Cappadocia. Sightseeing during afterglow here is a pleasure itself. You feel the breeze and the calm of the region simultaneously. 48 hours in Cappadocia. Since this land is full of history, adventure, fantastic tastes, and views, it is difficult to choose among them for a specific time at Cappadocia. Nonetheless, if you are ready for a memorable long weekend or a honeymoon, let us help you to decide. In most places, it is advised to start a day with a full breakfast. But if you are in Cappadocia, a place that offers you one of the most fantastic views of the world, we suggest you wake up at dawn and see or board one of the hot air balloons to view Cappadocia's magical landscape and its famous fairy chimneys in the light of the rising sun. While the sun is rising, you will be mesmerized by the play of the sun rays around the magical surroundings. After this visual show, you can enjoy a delicious Turkish breakfast for a fuel. Then you will be ready to truly discover Cappadocia. Ukhisar Castle is the highest point for a panoramic view of Cappadocia, and it is one of the best points for a beginning. This giant natural castle offers you an overview of Gorim, Avanos, Kavuzin, Ortahisar and Pigeon Valley, which are among the most popular places to visit. The next destination is Gorim Open Air Museum. The museum has been on the UNESCO World Heritage List since 1985, and it is famous for carved churches dating back to the early periods of Christianity. You can see so many remnants of the monasteries, frescoes from the Bible, and be amazed by the fact that some of these are more than 1.600 years old. Do not forget to visit Karanlık and Tokali churches. These are the most famous and well-protected churches of Gorim Open-Air Museum. You can have your lunch at Avanos with many local options. The tasty clay pot kebab, beans, soups, pumpkin dessert, halva, and local wines. We do not have enough space to list all the mouth-watering options here. After the lunch, you can visit a pottery atelier and choose a souvenir for yourself or your loved ones. You can even try to make your own pottery here. Then the Valley of the Monks or Passabaglari deserves a visit. There are many magnificent fairy chimneys here, and some of them include a chapel and reclusory for Saint Simeon. You can follow the path of faith at Zelv, comprised of 3 valleys, is an important settlement of 9th and 13th centuries early Christianity period. There are also famous churches of Uzumlu and Balikli here. More fairy chimneys wait for you at Devrent Valley. These ones resemble animal figures and will give you a visual feast with the sun rays. Your first day is slowly coming to an end. Breathless by the atmosphere and new experiences, now you are ready for the sunset view, dinner, and rest at your hotel. Your next day will be wonderful too. Your second day route is starting at Urgup. The most famous fairy chimneys are here and named as the 3 beauties. Named as Oceana or Asiana at Byzantine period and Bashizar at Seljuks and Burger Castle at Ottomans, Urgup is an important center of Cappadocia. At Urgup, you can see Orta Hisar Castle that is a giant fairy chimney itself, beyond being a castle. The settlement has a long history here, dating back to the BC 1500 Hittites. Still, there are so many traditional architectures around the castle that will send you on a vantage through time. Mustafa Paşa village is a good point to see this kind of architecture, and Constantine Eleni Church, Hagia Nicholas Monastery and Bebek Museum. After the lunch, where you will explore flavors and dishes that you missed at yesterday's feast, you are ready to discover the rest of Cappadocia. There are many options. You can visit Red Valley and try trekking or horse riding here. Cappadocia has a very fertile soil that cultivates very delicious pumpkins, grapes, apples, pears, apricots and more. Some of these grapes are used to produce tasty local wines. If you like, you can visit local boutique wine factories and witness the production of the Cappadocia wines. Options are many. What you should not miss: there are the underground cities of Cappadocia. There are almost 300 underground cities here, but since your time has limits, Kaymakli and Derinkuyu are good options. The first settlers and constructors of the underground cities are unknown, they have such a long history. There are rumors on their reasons for construction: epidemics, harsh climate conditions, military transfers, hiding place for early Christians, so on. But they are magnificent shelters that include barns, storerooms, fermentation rooms, churches, tunnels, kitchens, even graves. Now your fairy tale is coming to an end. It is time to rest and digest the beauty, history, and taste of Cappadocia. Hope to see you again and wish you a safe return with sweet dreams.